Ինչ կարող ես պատմել այս գագաթնաժողովի մասին եւ ինչ շանսեր ունի Հայաստանը? I'm asking what you can tell about Armenia's chances here and the meaning of this signing ceremony today, signing of this agreement that Armenia is going to sign with the European Union. What's your take on that?
Well, the take on this is that Armenia is actually the only country out of the 6 that actually gets something from today's meeting. Everyone else gets, you know, some nice words here and there, this and that, but you actually get something concrete. You get the thing that you were supposed to get back in 2013 in Vilnius, but without all the nice parts. Mm-hmm. You get a consolation prize, you get something that is okay, but it is a bit like a hamburger without the meat or a marriage without sex. So it's a nice partnership, but it lacks the spark that you're supposed to have.
But I talked to some experts here. They say, however, there are some economic parts, incentives that are pretty strong actually in this, even in this agreement. If there's the formula more for more is still here, and if Armenia really fulfills its obligations after signing this agreement, it will get a lot of investments, a lot of money will flow to Armenia. What do you think?
No, of course. I mean, this is at least putting the EU-Armenia relationship a bit back on track. For 4 years now, it was a bit nowhere. And now, yeah, of course, you're going to have access to European funding. You're going to have access to European expertise. And this is fine. This is all good. And you're going to get, you know, in terms of politics, you're going to get a bit closer in certain areas. But as I said before, you will never be as close as Moldova, Georgia, and Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And that is the main issue here.
And how persuasive do you think the European Union, their officials, in following, eyeing, watching Armenia fulfilling its obligations or not fulfilling?
I mean, of course they will follow Armenia, but I would be lying if I said that Armenia is top of the agenda here in Brussels right now. Yeah. It's quite low down, actually. I mean, they have so much internal issues, first of all, in the EU, and I try to emphasize this, and this is not something I say as a, say just as an excuse. But look, the EU is shrinking in 2 years' time, in 1 year time, with Britain leaving, and with Britain leaves a lot of money, and with Britain leaves a lot of political power.
But I just heard today Theresa May saying that despite the fact that we Brexit, for us this Eastern Partnership is very important. We're going to invest hundreds of millions in this area, in these countries, that they can fight this so-called fake news and Russian influence. So you think they still remain engaged?
They remain engaged, but the question is how engaged they will remain come April 2019, where they're no longer part of this club, and when they, in fact, probably actually will have a relationship that is potentially even possibly weaker than the one Armenia has with the EU, because we don't know what their relationship would be like, with the EU. Okay. Of course, they will have a closer relationship, but the thing is that Theresa May can promise a lot of things right now, but I think she would be better keeping the money and other issues.
She can deliver or not.
Yes.
And here's another question. What do you think? You're here, like an old-timer, a very experienced, very, journalist who has a lot of resources here talking to EU officials. Do you think, how long would that take until Armenia gets to this point when they can start dialogue on visa liberalization?
I think the visa liberalization dialogue will start basically probably next year, sometime early next year, but then it will take another half a year, maybe a bit more, and you get what is called a visa liberalization action plan. Mm-hmm. And that is the action plan that you have to fulfill. That will take 2, 3, 4 years, something like that. And then we can start the whole process about visa liberalization. So I don't want to throw up any sort of big numbers there, but it will not you will not get visa liberalization in the next 2, 3 years. But not in 10 years either. We'll hopefully be faster than that.
Okay, thank you, Rikard.
Okay,
thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And in terms of declaration, is there any intrigues are continuing?
The intrigues are continuing, but the text remains unchanged from the one that we saw earlier this week so far.
Everything will be okay?
I think that we will avoid a scenario that we had at last time in Riga when Azerbaijan and Armenia had a little show.
Okay.
But you never know. It's the Eastern Partnership. It's the land of surprise.
So yesterday you spoke to the president as well, Armenia.
Yes, Mr.
And
Sargsyan. He said he will not block the declaration. He seemed quite okay with it. Because he believes that the issue of Nagorno-Karabakh and the conflict resolution, this is not the forum for this, you know. Which is, he's right about that. The EU sees it the same ways. The question is, does Baku see it that way? That we'll see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very
Bye.
much. Հիմա մենք շարունակում ենք հետևել այս գագաթնաժողովին եւ երեկոյան ժամը 5-ին Երևանի ժամանակով ժամը 8-ին արդեն կսկսվի Հայաստան-Եվրամիություն ստորագրման այդ համաձայնագրի համապարփակ եւ ընդլայնված գործակցության համաձայնագրի ստորագրման արարողություն մենք այդ իրադարձությունը կերարցակենք ուղիղ եթերով